Howdy doody. I've just gotten back from holiday. We go to France usually. We have a caravan, and I mean France is a nice country to go to for holiday because they have a lot of campings, they have a lot of good weather, and it's a beautiful country. Uh, Mountains, little rivers, old towns and stuff, and so we have this little 1977 caravan. I think I've shown that before, and we tow that all the way to France, which is nice. And so we usually pick out a couple of campings, and we book a place there for a while and stay there, and then move on. And so it was nice this time. We had some very nice camping. So what people do is that France is filled with old castles. You know, they're basically ruins, and they're not used anymore. So people fix them up, and these castles sometimes have huge, grounds, gardens, and they turn that into campsites. So there's a whole selection of campings that are specifically campings that are attached to a castle. And we went to one of those, which was fantastic. We arrived there, by the way, like 15 minutes after the World Championship football match, France-Croatia, started. So everyone was a little preoccupied, but no, it was nice. We had a nice day. We had some friends there that were in the neighborhood, and we went there. It's boring stuff. Sorry. One of the things that France doesn't have for some reason is toy stores or gaming stores, or not in the areas that I go to. We go to we go to the tourist bits where that stuff doesn't exist. But I'd hate to be French and live in those areas, because the only way to get your hands on games would be to go to the hypermarkets, to the Super U or the Leclerc, and they've got loads of those, but they're supermarkets, and because they're hypermarkets basically, because they're very large and they have a very wide selection of stuff, not just food, but they have like clothes and stuff to fix your car, and games and TVs and vacuum cleaners, but also fish and meat and water and wine. So and I saw I always have a look, and I saw that they had God of War, €71. It's even more expensive than over here. So that cannot be the way that the French gamers get their stuff. I don't know any French gamers. I among the friends that I have on YouTube, none of them are from France. So, but there's loads of French channels, but they tend to speak French, and they don't go outside their language area. It's hard for the French to speak English. There's loads of them that do, especially when you work on a camping or in a tourist oriented place. But loads of people just don't speak a word of English. And it's funny because this time we went to the western part of France, which normally we go to the Provence, which is southeast, and it's usually too far for the British to go. The British tend to stay on the west coast, so we had loads of British people, and the British they all come in these huge huge and shiny caravans. They're always huge and shiny for some reason. They're always flashy looking. And their cars are flashy looking and shiny. And they're big. They're like the European Americans. And they're stupid. They don't speak a word outside of their own language. Not a word. And they stand there pretending that, their Britishness is going to conquer the Frenchness around them. But it doesn't. They just end up looking dumb. And then you get these weird situations. We went to a McDonald's, and we'd gotten our order, and for some reason I went back for something. I can't remember. Maybe to get something. I don't know. But there was a British gentleman. He was a father who had a little family, and he'd just gotten his order, and he came back for ketchup and salt. So he was talking to this French girl. Ketchup. She understood ketchup. But then and I'm witnessing this because I'm behind the British fella, right? So he says, and salt. And the French girls go, she goes, what? And he says, salt. Salt. He's trying to say salt. Now, the French word for salt is sel, right? It's almost the same. She could have figured out that he meant salt. And your English abilities don't have to be that large for the French girl to figure out that he needs salt. But she had no idea. So I helped them out. So there's your source of frustration. Neither party is capable or willing to figure out the word for salt in the other language. And they just miss each other completely. And then they need this Dutch guy to say he means sel. Oh, thank you. Jesus Christ. It's so dumb, just extend your view a little bit across your own borders, be a little bit more international. So, so we had that. So, and I picked something up in France. I did. But it arrived only when we got home. We had friends like 30 kilometers away, so we decided to go over to them and visit them. And in France, you have like the autoroute, like the highways, and then you have like the D way. They're all numbered with D95, D971, blah blah blah. And there are like 2-lane roads, and they vary in width, and they can get very small. And they what's just happened in France is that the maximum speed outside towns would be 90, but their Prime Minister Macron has said the French they drive like crap, which they do. The odd thing is that when you're standing in line in a supermarket, and these people they sometimes still pay with checks, right? So they have to write out stuff. Sometimes something happens at the cash register, and they have like an elephant's patience. They just, nobody gets angry. They just stand there. No, they don't show any sign of impatience or like tapping their fingers. They just wait. Oh, no problem. They're just relaxed, which is fine. I think that's fine. But things can take a really long time. So they're really patient and they're really correct. When you're not supposed to like, people don't like it when you jump the queue and all that kind of stuff. But when it gets to traffic, They're nuts. They have no patience at all, and they drive really fast, and they. So they went from 90 to 80, and there's a lot of people who don't agree with that. But what happens is you're going down the motorway, and then sometimes you'll enter into a town, and it just has a little sign with the town name, and you know that's 50, right? So you slow down to 50. But sometimes there are areas that look like a town, but they're not a town. But there's like a crossing and some houses, and you'll go from 80 to 70, and then from 70 to 80 again. Somewhere I missed one of those signs. Well, you miss those signs all the time, and it's not a big deal. You just look around yourself, and assess the situation and adapt your speed, right? And I didn't see a single cop. I think in my whole 2 weeks there, I saw 4 cops, and I all saw them on the same day. And when I got back, it appeared that I'd picked up a speeding ticket. So you get a speeding ticket. 45 euros for... I was going 80 in a 70 area, and they corrected my speed to 75. So in my advantage. So theoretically, I was 5 kilometers per hour too fast. So I probably just took my foot off the gas a little bit too late, and then they laser gunned me. I know the officer 141256. So they send you. It's 45 years on a it's not a, it's an expensive visit, but anyway. So you get this. You get the note. I folded the top because it has got my address on it. So you get this. Then you get this as well. This is a form, and this all in Dutch, all in my own language. This is a form that says that if I see a reason, and there's a set number of reasons why I shouldn't be fined because my car has just been stolen, or I've just sold it, or blah, 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 I can use this form to indicate that. And this is also your way out if you are bold, and because when you have one of those reasons but you have no documentation, you can include a letter, and then someone will try and determine whether you're right or not. So if you're really clever, and you could write a letter in French perhaps, and then try to get out of the bill. I didn't try that. And they have a website where you go and pay the bill, because there's also a manual, another form, a manual of how to pay. You can do by MasterCard, you can use your smartphone, and you can go to a store there and pay locally. Amazing. And it also came with a little envelope. It's very, as a nice surprise. Anyway, that was my holiday. We just came back, and I did buy some items while I was there. I didn't buy them there, but I bought them using my phone. I can pay. I can do everything with my phone. I just have to have coverage. So what I get? One of the things that I got, but I got earlier before I went on holiday. I found this, a Philips tape deck, and not just a tape deck. It's not just. It's an audio, but it says it's computer compatible. So that has no meaning, but it was made by Philips for computers. And it looks in perfect nick, so I think because the one that Jai gave me is in shambles, it works, but I had to repair it because it has a loose solder joint. So I found this for not too much money at the thrift store. Nice, isn't it? I'm really happy. I'm still trying to use my own tapes to create a tape image that I can load just as a project. Nothing serious. And then Well, there's just a couple of things that I've been looking for a long time. I've never bought an Amiibo, but I bought my first and only Amiibo because I've been playing um, whatchamacallit, uh, Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, and I'm told that I can use the Wolf Link Amiibo in that game on the Wii U. At least that's what I thought. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Twilight Princess. It says Twilight Princess. I thought it would work on the on that game as well. It doesn't say though. Maybe it does. Maybe this was older. I don't know. I'll have to find out. I have no idea. It's compatible with The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Yeah, it doesn't say. It doesn't say whether it. But I thought the image was pretty cool. The image, the little figure was cool. The wolf. But I assumed that I could play it, that I could use it with Breath of the Wild, but I'm not sure now, all of a sudden, as we are filming this. So I don't know. But this is my first Amiibo. And I'll let you know how it goes. It's unused. It's still in the original packaging, and I'm going to take it out. Not now, because I don't want to, but also... I got this. I got Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. Now, I already have Horizon Zero Dawn, but the not complete edition, but I wanted this because this has all the DLC, and I was really impressed with this game. I didn't finish it. I played a bit of it, but I need to play it some more, and I wanted the complete edition. Just like the Diablo 3 Eternal collection is out now, which I've actually just bought, but I don't have it in hand yet. But this is the Horizon Zero. So anyone looking for Horizon Zero Dawn for the PS4, I have a copy for sale. A complete edition with all the DLC and some, including that winter kind of thing. I'm not familiar with the DLC for this game, but I have it. Then, having bought in the past all the God of War games, I was really interested in the God of War PS4 game, which I got as well. I just came in today. I tried to get this from a guy who offered it for a very low, a low price. But he'd been on this platform indicates how long someone's been a member. This guy had been a member for 3.5 years. So when you get an offer at a really low price and someone who's been a member for a day, it's probably a scam. But this one, it had it had a real picture. It had someone who had been on the network for longer, and he was offering it. So I put in a bid, or I said, I want to buy it, and then he didn't respond for a while until I got a mail from the platform itself saying we've deleted this item and blocked the person because he's been reported as being a scam artist. So, and that was kind of scary because there were some other offerings that looked very much the same, with the same kind of name, but different a little bit. I saw at least one offering for God of War with the same picture, I thought. So all of a sudden I'm thinking, damn, I can't be sure whether or not I can, what am I going to get? So, and I don't want to lose my money. I don't want to, so I don't want to send anyone my money and then not get anything in the mail. So they have this system where you can pay the money sort of in advance, and as soon as you confirm that you have the item, you can actually okay it, and then the seller will get his money. So there's a system, but both the seller and the buyer have to agree to use that system. And there's just people who say, "No, I don't want to do that," or "I don't understand how it works." And this buying and selling through this network, it sort of has to go in a certain flow. When you're dealing with someone who's experienced, it just goes bang, bang, bang. I'm interested. You want to ship or not? And what's your address? And how do I pay? And blah, blah, blah. And then when you're in that flow, it works. But when you can send someone a pay request, basically, I get, if I'm buying something, I just get a pay request, and I click on pay, and it'll take me to my bank, and I'll get the electronic payment done with their bank account number. So, but this girl, that I bought God of War off, you just send me a pay request. I don't know how that works. So am I gonna, there's just a button in the screen. It says, click that. So at that point I'm thinking, ooh, shit, I don't know how that works. That could be a lie. But this girl, it was a little bit more expensive than the other ones. This is a Steelbook. Did I show it already? God of War. I think I did. This is a Steelbook. Of course, it comes with no manual. I mean, let me add my chant to the song. Please make manuals again. Whoever made this, Santa Monica Studio from and Sony. Just make manuals. This is not a manual. This is bullshit. Just make a nice color booklet. He says while he explains that he bought it secondhand. Anyway, I paid a little bit more. I paid $32.50 to get the, well, we say steel case, but it's a bit. It's aluminium. It's got a couple of scratches. It doesn't matter. It's sort of special looking. I like it. And it says God of War on the side. So when I have it in my stack or on a shelf, I can at least see that this is the game. So God of War, that's one of those. I like hack and slash, and I really enjoyed the other God of War games, which I didn't finish all of them. I'm playing one on my PSP. I've been doing that for ages, but it get kind of tricky after a while. But it's a game that I really enjoy, and I saw this new thing, and it had all. It reminded me It reminded me of Horizon Zero Dawn in the way that the story is brought, and now you get Kratos and his son, and boy. I haven't seen a lot of that, but that's definitely a game that I'm going to be interested in playing. As you can hear, I've not complained of the heat, which I won't. I'm a little bit bummed out about that Amiibo thing. I'm certain that I read somewhere, but I'm guessing that this Amiibo, this particular one, came out before Breath of the Wild came out, and that's why it doesn't have anything on the back. Because if Twilight Princess on the Legend of Zelda, all right, well, if push comes to shove, I have Twilight Princess on the Wii U as well, so I can at least use it, but I bought it for Breath of the Wild. So, I mean, if you know whether this works, then comment. And there's another thing that I have to talk about, because we've that's not even in there. No Man's Sky has had its 1.5 update called Next, which is added, hold on to your seats, multiplayer. So it's a little bit vague about how it works exactly. We've been able to play as a group in the same solar system, and you can see each other walking around, you can see each other's names, and you can see the actual people walking around. We had a bit of, we were all starting a new game, and with No Man's Sky, you sort of repair your ship, and you get your visor working, and you get all these startup missions to get you going, and that is all single player. So there's nothing multiplayer yet. You can just see each other. You can have up to 16 people in the same instance, but I think only 4 are actually people, and the rest are orbs, and they call them glitches or whatever, but that seems just like a technical limitation. And also, I was in the game with Grubgun and Evoiler and Kat and Cecil. And we were building bases. And the next day, or the day after, when I came back and I started that save again, I was in the same place with the same base and the same stuff. And I built a base. But now I wonder, what happened? Did I play a multiplayer game? Where is that base now? Is it on my PC, and do I upload it? Or does it do that automatically when I hook into the multiplayer game again? So it's not entirely clear as what the mechanics are. I'm guessing, because I've read somewhere that in the PC version, you can actually upload and download bases, which makes them local or server-based. I don't know. Ow. I got an ear infection, sorry. Sorry, I don't have to. If you see me cringe, then I'm biting down in a place where I can't because my ear infection. So there are differences between the PC version and the PS4 version. The most notable that I saw is that in the PS4 version, it's still first-person mode. And in the PC version, it's third-person. Now, I seem to remember that you can switch between those, but I'm not sure. But my first reaction to the game has had an overhaul, right? So I had stuff in my inventory that was no longer valid, so I had to decompose that, and so things definitely changed. But I was very much impressed. I was very happy with the game and how it worked, and that while nothing seems to have changed or much, but I was on a planet that had all the, it was grassy, and it was more beautiful, and it was much more like the worlds and much more like the promises that Sean Murray made when he sold the game to us before it was released. So that's a mistake Sean Murray will not make again. I think he will either next time just say the game that will, if he ever does this again, but the game that comes out will be a basic game, and then we'll be adding more stuff, just like Elite has done and has been doing for years now. Unlike Star Citizen, which just can't seem to come to a bug-free, normal, like a game that works. I think Sean Murray did the right thing. He made the basics of a game, which he released, and then decided to build on that. And all those releases have been free up until now. Up until 1.5, every release has been impressive, and it has been free. So how he does that, I don't know, but I think he's at least been able to get the funds to make the basic game and all the updates that we have until now. And he's paid for that. out of what he made and perhaps borrowed from investors based on his story. I mean, all that he's done wrong was the marketing. You know, he was not clear about what was going to come out, and that was either ignorant, or it was, I don't know the backstory. Maybe Sony said, you're going to tell people that it's going to be great, or you're not going to say that this has got nothing in it. Maybe it happened that way. Elite Dangerous is different. Everybody knew what was coming. You know, the basics of the game are coming out. We'd been testing, or people had been testing it for a year, I think. And then it was released, and then the updates came. Star Citizen is just still a beta release, I think. And I've tried it, but with every new release, you see another Scott Manley video saying, it's not it, it's not it, it's not it. You know, it's always buggy and laggy, or laggy, I don't know, but it's weird stuff happens. Your ship just disappears, you know. All your money is just gone. I don't know. I just don't like Star Citizen. But that was not the point of the story. It was about No Man's Sky. So No Man's Sky, it's definitely worth a try. Kevin from Down the Rabbit Hole said, I really want this game to be PSVR ready, and it's not. And you're right. If that's what you want, then it's not in there, and I'm not even sure if it will be. But I can imagine that it will be. And I'm playing it on my PC. That's definitely not extremely new or fast. And I'm sure that if you have a PS4, at least they'll be able to, you know, guarantee that it'll work on the PS4. I hope. I don't know. Anyway, if you've not played No Man's Sky now, it's worth a look. And you can buy it. You can buy the game now for like peanuts, new in the store, if they still have it. And you get all the updates. So, you know, it couldn't be better, actually. So, yeah. Yeah. The Mars, Blood Moon, Space News, I guess. Stefan, I don't know how to pronounce your name. I was on holiday. He said, "Are you going to see the Blood Moon tonight?" And I was in France, and I had the most spectacular night skies, including the moon. So, and it was a full moon when he asked, when he asked that night before I'd seen the full moon. So I said, "Yeah, sure, I'm going to see it." And then somewhere, I didn't know what time the whole eclipse would happen. I'm not even sure that I got to see it in France, because I didn't. I didn't see the blood moon. I just saw the full moon. And to be completely fair, I didn't really know what it meant, but the eclipse and then the coloring of the moon that comes with that, it definitely looks red, but I don't think that's visible all over the world at the same time. And I didn't see it. I just thought the blood moon was like, it's not red, it's just bigger. But it's not. It's not. I didn't see it. I didn't see the blood moon. I got a very nice view of the full moon, though, but that's it. So it was cloudy, but I did see it, the full moon, but not the blood moon. But then Mars, if you've been checking out, you can see Mars very well. And I was wondering, why am I seeing Mars so well? You can actually see that it's red, but that's because Mars has been close to Earth. The last time it was this close was around 2003. So Mars is actually very well visible, and it's red. And we still know, and not that you can see it, but we know that it's still red because of get it right. You can't see the storm, but we know that the planet, and enveloping storm is still happening on Mars. We still haven't been able to contact Opportunity. So, and NASA said at the beginning, oh, it's going to be 2 or 3 more days and then we'll be up and running again. I'm thinking this could go on for years. Who knows? Never seen this before. So, yeah, that's everything I have to say. Really, things that I'm doing. I'm still repairing the Commodores, which is going well. I need a PLA. I've looked into that. I can buy the Plankton PLA. I can buy the Super PLA if it ever comes back in stock. But I'm thinking, why do I want to do that? I have working Commodores. I've diagnosed the problem. I know what is needed. And that I could just put a sticker on it that says needs a PLA and then leave it there. I still have to check out the SID problem on the other Commodore that donated the PLA now. I asked Mark if he had a PLA. He said, I'll have a look. And he gave me a Commodore C64C, but it was the latest board, which means that it's incompatible with the others. So the latest board revision doesn't even have a PLA because they combined the PLA function with other functions in a single chip that is not compatible with the other Commodores. It does, however, have a CIA problem, and the CIAs are default. So, but before I get into repairing that and determining which one of the 2 CIAs is the problem, and because they're not socketed, of course, I have to take them all off, and that's for another video. I do have footage for the repair stuff. I do this like one step at a time when I feel like it. But there's going to be a video out with me repairing the Commodores. And after I do the SID thing, I'll put a video together and upload it. But as for now, it's too warm in here. I can sit here for like 20 minutes and it'll be fine. But I have to open a door now because it's gonna be too warm. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.